Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. It is Wednesday, February 26th, and it is 7:31. Just gonna give it a minute for people to jump on. Please, no judgment of my hair. It's a mess, and I'd say messy hair don't care, but clearly I care. I'm just gonna put my Do Not Disturb on. While I'm waiting for people to join in, I will pull this up on my iPad. There it is. So I'm just going to share this. Hi Pam, thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to share this to a couple of places if you wouldn't mind sharing it as well. There is always a prize each week that I draw for, and one lucky winner will win something this week. I just drew the name before going live. Hi Paula, hi Megan. I just drew the name before I went live because I have to be looking at who shared it. So, okay, where am I going to share it? So I do have a name, and this week's prize is the Thoughtful Bloom stamp set. Oh, it's coming so fast. Hi Diane. Sorry, I totally covered the camera there. Hi Jenny. Where am I sharing this? There. Let's try there. That ought to be good. Okay, so because of the privacy settings, I can only see so many. So what I did was I just went on and saw who shared and did an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I am happy to announce that Shannon... I pulled it up there, but not here. Shannon Hiscock Gates is the lucky winner for this week. So Shannon, if you don't already have the Thoughtful Bloom stamp set, I know, I'm sorry, this is backwards. You have this one. So just send me your address and I would be happy to get that off to you. And next week, what shall we do? I have a couple of things that I could share or have as a gift prize next week. So I'm gonna let you pick. So I have a package of the From My Heart Faceted Gems, and I think these are on back order right now, or not orderable. I have the Thoughtful Bloom stamp and punch. This is gonna be a big one. I want lots and lots and lots of shares for this. Or Sending You Thoughts. So these are mostly Celebration. And then I also have a package of the Golden Honey DSP, which I think is now just back in stock. And that's it. Everything else in that drawer is retired. I'm trying to get rid of it. So, Thoughtful Blooms bundle, From My Heart Faceted Gems. I mean, obviously I know what I would pick. Or the Sending You Thoughts. So let me know what you would like to see as a prize for next week. I'm never cutting my hair short enough that it won't go up again, ever. It's driving me crazy. Right, Megan? I cannot wait for the second release of Celebration. I have gotten 50%, but there's still some stuff that I want to get for free because at this point I've purchased it. What is there for housekeeping? Not a whole lot. Yeah, not much. Celebration is still going strong. There are two things that are no longer available. One of them is this, which is very sad. The metallic twine and sequins. This is done. So actually, this could be another prize because now that it's out, I'm not going to use it. So this one hasn't been opened yet. So that could be in the prize options as well. I'm going to put that in a different drawer. So there's that. And then the kerchief card kit, which is unfortunate. I was just going to order that one, but it sold out this week. So if there's anything you're wanting from Celebration, do not hesitate because it's while supplies last. And that being said, there are some fabulous new things coming out. March 3rd, there's the Flowering Foils DSP, which I'm going to give you a closer look at when I flip this around. There is the Tags in Bloom stamp set, which goes with the Label Me Pretty and the Label Me Fancy punches. I wasn't going to get this one until I got the Tags in Bloom stamp set. Oh, absolutely, Megan. Can you see it from here? Let me grab it. No need to ever ask me if you can case something. I saw something online yesterday that says if you put it online, it's basically out there for the public. I mean, I'd be happy if you, what's the word I'm looking for? I'd be happy if you tagged me in whatever, but yes, please, case away. This was actually a Facebook Live a few weeks ago. So all the details are in there. The Dress to Impress is going to be the Creativity Without Borders April class. March is going to be Welcome Easter. And it's so cute. Kelly and I have just started planning that. We know what's going in the kit. We haven't designed anything yet. I mean, we being me. Kelly may be way ahead, but... and then May is By the Dock. Now, those are subject to change, but I think we've got it all figured out. Update on my niece. She was born a week ago, and she was 9 weeks early. So she is doing well. She was 4 pounds. She is breathing on her own. She will be in the NICU for another 3 to 5 weeks. And I get to go see her this weekend. I'm so excited. Her name is Nora. And if you caught my video on Monday, what did I make? Which one of these did I make? Oh, the little chickie right up there. There. I mentioned that I had picked up knitting needles for the first time in about 3 years and knitted a bib. It did not turn out the way I wanted to. No fault of my own. It was the pattern. I swear to God I can read a pattern. I was even writing patterns while I was knitting. So it didn't turn out as well as I had hoped, but it brought the pain in my arms back with a vengeance. So, well, I really want to make a blanket, an Afghan for my niece. I'm going to have to take it slow. So I don't think it's going to be ready for her baby shower in a month, but we'll see. Thank you, Paula. Yes, tagged would be the word I was looking for. And I'm sorry if you can hear any kind of banging. We had our new dishwasher delivered today, and Dave is installing it, which is fantastic because we've been piling up dishes waiting to see how this thing is going to perform. I think that's probably enough. I am going to make at least 2 projects tonight. I have my Stamping Society tutorial that I still have to type up, and it's due today. So I gotta get that done. I have my Pretty AF Rise and Shine Facebook Live is tomorrow night. So I have 4 fantastic projects for that. And one of them I'm still tweaking a little bit, but I have to type up my project sheet. So I'm gonna shut up now and start crafting and show you what I have in mind. One of the projects we're making tonight is for the Global Design Project Challenge. And I wish that I had a way to show you a picture on my phone while I'm on my phone. It's winter here, Megan. When I was an avid knitter, I was knitting all year long. And I think what really started it, one, my job was highly repetitive. I'm in a different position now. But I made basically a king-size Afghan for my brother and sister-in-law, and it was gorgeous. But it was a lot of knitting. Jenny, you should join again. So Pretty AF, yes, I'm doing my Rise and Shine class tomorrow. I can't wait for that. And we have a conference at work this week, so I have to be at work for 7 a.m. tomorrow, actually at a different site for 7 a.m. tomorrow. So I need to get this stuff going. Anyways, Global Design Project. The color challenge this week is using Crushed Curry, Garden Green, and Night of Navy. So I had an idea immediately when I thought of that, but also I have one of my coworkers to thank because I said, okay, what am I going to do for my Facebook Live tomorrow night? What am I going to do? And she said jungle. So What would have oh yes, that Afghan I was knitting every day for 2 months. Solid. Okay, so I had an idea. Once she said jungle and once I saw the color theme, I had an immediate idea. So we are going to do a little bit of ink blending. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting, and I have not done a sample. So we're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to flip this around. We will cover you up. Got a nice piece of the Brights DSP to cover you up. Well, that was a nice close-up. Okay. Ooh, didn't move it far enough. Okay, zoom in. Is that good or is that too far? I always forget to turn up the brightness on my phone, so it looks super dark in my phone, but it looks okay on my iPad. So I want to show you a couple of the second Celebration release, a couple of the ones that I have. So I was mentioning Rise and Shine, and I did create something last week using this. I don't remember if I ended up doing something in my Facebook Live, but this was a shaker card that I did. So I had some little hearts from the, reading a message. The hearts from the Heart to Heart bundle. So it's the one that has all the hearts on there. And then I used the Tulip Builder Punch for the steam. So that was last Monday's video. I don't recall what I did because we talked about this last week, didn't we? Everything is just a blur. I can't remember. Okay, so I used that. Pretty AF has the Rise and Shine bundle tomorrow, so that's fantastic. What else? I have the Tags in Bloom, like I said, and that coordinates with the Label Me Fancy and the Label Me Pretty punches. And I was going to make a card using this one, but so I've got this card that I had rounded the edges on a few weeks ago, and every time I go to pick up a top folding card base, I pick this one. I'm like, nope, don't want it rounded. Is it? We did the sheep and we did this one last week. Megan, I don't remember what I did for the cup. Did I do the cup? Maybe I didn't. Maybe that was the week before. I don't know. I'm a wreck. Anyways, I wanted to show you, I'm not going to demonstrate this one right yet because I have a fun rainbow project that's going to be coming up in a video soon, and it uses the same technique. But I thought this would look cute on some black and white, but then the scallops and the stitching and the rounded, it just wasn't working. So I wanted to show you this. This is a fun way to use this. Happiness looks gorgeous on you, and then you can use the punch to punch that out. I did have a card using this one, and I think we're going to recreate that tonight with this. So that will be one card, but we're not going to use this card base because it's a little too cutesy. So we'll use that. And I'm not going to make anything with these ones, but I'm going to show you. So this is the Flower and Foils paper. So this is another one in the second release of Celebration, which, like I said, is available March 3rd. So there's this fun pattern. You can see I've cut into it already. There is this adorable pattern. I love this one. There are these big blooms. And then the only one that I'm not crazy about is this. I may find a use for it, but right now, not so fond of it. Although it could kind of pass for the same flower as this, couldn't it? But not digging that one. So I may cut that one up into little pieces, like 4x6s, and give them out. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple different ways that you can change these. So one of them is using just sponge daubers, and I used Rococo Rose and Soft Seafoam. My grid paper is all over the place, isn't it? Okay, zoom in just a little more. So this one is just sponge daubers. Just ink it up and rub it in there. This one, I use some blends, and I love this kind of pattern because you can make it look like flowers or you can just make it look like a bunch of random geometric shapes. But I use light pumpkin pie, light calypso coral, and dark petal pink, and then soft seafoam. So I'll come up with some card ideas for these and post them. I had an idea for this one, but like I said, I want to do 2 projects tonight. I need to get some stuff done. But this foil reminded me of the DSP from the celebration when I first joined. I can't remember what it was called, but it was the one that was like a thick cardstock, and this is what I did to one of them. So just cover it with your Memento, or any color really. I'm not going to go all the way to the end because I don't want to have black fingers. But just ink it up and then take a paper towel and buff off the excess. And it completely changes the look. So if you don't want to have a super white and stark paper, add some ink to it. So we've got 3 different ways to color the flowering foils DSP. So that was just a quick little tip. Look at the difference between the white with the copper and the black with the copper. It's so shiny. Okay, so there were some coloring tips. We are going to, before I start ink blending, I think we're going to do this one quickly. So this is just a piece of the Brights DSP Mango Melody. I'm just grabbing a scrap of Whisper White. I'm not sure this is going to be big enough. I have to say I am not overly inspired by this one yet. Not big enough. Sometimes I can look at a stamp set, well, let's use Very Vanilla, and just so many ideas just flood to my mind. And this one, not so much. Isn't it gorgeous, Pam? I just love it. I'm going to move this case so you're not being blinded. Okay, that ought to be just big enough. We'll use some Memento. So for anyone just coming in, if you can share this, you will be, and come back and tell me that you shared it, you will be entered to win next week's prize, which is TBD. We have to decide if it's going to be the Thoughtful Blooms bundle, the now sold out metallic twine and sequins, the Sending You Thought stamp set, or the From My Heart faceted gems. So if you have a preference, then chime in and let me know what it is. It'll be the People's Choice Prize. Ooh! We could do that. We could have it where the winner picks the prize. What do we think of that? I can put that it's all 4 of those and then the winner picks what they want. That could be fun. Okay, I was thinking there was another flower I could use at the bottom, but it's the full flower. Okay, so in the middle, let's put Wishing You the Best. Now, I should have mentioned that this is photopolymer, and you want to use the Stampin' Pierce Mat. That wasn't the best impression I ever got. There we go. I don't know if it's just me, but I do find that my Memento needs to be re-inked far sooner than anything else. Could be because I use it so much because of all the coloring, but yeah, it's a good idea. Hey, Jenny? I like that idea. Okay, so we are going to use, whoops, Mango Melody, Dark Soft Suede, and Old Olive Flints. Now when I did this card the first time, I actually just used my Stampin' Write markers and it worked out just fine. But let's color it with blends. I can't multitask when I'm coloring. So how is everyone's week going? Take that out. Go over this one more time. So I had a post on my business page week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, and it mentioned all the perks of joining Stampin' Up, and I have been so fortunate. I have had 4 new recruits so far since January, well, since the beginning of the new year. So fortunate. I can't believe it. And basically at this point I need a silver demonstrator, so someone that's going to run it as a business or have a small team. I need that in order to promote to the next level. So I just joined a group earlier this week that hopefully will help me get to the next level. I think I mentioned that in my video last week as well. So I still can't believe my team doubled and then some during celebration. A very small but wonderful team. Okay. I know I said that I was just using the dark soft suede, but I am going to bring in the light. There we go. Some very easy coloring. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. And then, unfortunately, once the flowers are on there, you cannot just punch it out. So you have to fussy cut it. Yeah, I know that the blends can be used just for straight coloring, but I very seldom do that. And Paula, you are like a master colorer. You and Elisa, you're just amazing. Oh no, Jenny, that sucks. I haven't done my taxes yet. Mind you, it's also not the end of February yet, so I always worry that another vital piece of paper is going to come and I won't have it on time. And there was one year that happened, and I should have submitted it to Canada Revenue, but I didn't, and then I ended up with a fine, well, a small, was it a fine? I had to pay something back. And of course, when they owe you money, it can take some time, right? But when you owe them money, the interest piles up before you know it. But luckily, my taxes won't be as difficult as they were last year because I've got the formulas and everything figured out. I don't do my own taxes, but last year it was trying to figure out how much of the house I use for business and how much of the utilities and that kind of stuff can be applied. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that didn't take very long. And what I would do is I would either leave that part as is or just color it in and get right to the edge on those leaves, and I don't feel like going back. So you can just pretend there's another leaf in there. I feel like I'm missing something. Let's take the light crumb cake and just kind of do a quick border. I love that with this bundle you can just keep it simple. The shape of the punch does all of the heavy lifting. Oh, did you hear that? Someone's taking out their garbage. How dare they? Our oldest dog is getting quite grumpy. Anyone goes to hug him or anything, he gets so grumpy and we're like, oh, how dare we love you? How rude. Okay, now with that border, it's a little bit more apparent than I would like. So I'm just going to take my color lifter and lighten it up a little. Okay, I am happy with that. So now we just need a card base. I'll grab one quickly. I think we'll stick with very vanilla now that I've taken that out. So my mat is 4 by 5.5. Sometimes I like for it to cover the whole front. Thank you, Pam. What do we think? Should we use the gingham or the triangle thingy, argyle? What do we think? Gingham, argyle. I know what I'm leaning towards. So while I put away my blends, you tell me which one you think I should use. I'll clean up my toys. Get rid of some stuff. Okay, 1 vote for gingham. 1 vote for argyle. Can you see it if I do it like that? If I fold the page, you can see both, right? 2 for argyle. Looks kind of neat like that. Okay, I have a drink that's sitting here unopened, so I'm going to open that while you ponder. What is everyone else drinking tonight? I forgot to put on my speaker thingy. I don't even know if this is going to work. Oh, we're tied. Do both. How do you want me to do both? One of each? Next answer in takes it. Unless we get 2 differing ones at the same time. Can I just tell you that with these 2 punches, I got this one first. I don't know if you can see it because I thought it was going to be so useful having this punch with the strip and the dot. I think I've used it once. I've used this one more. Cut in half and flip. Half and half. Okay. Should we do top and bottom flip or left and right flip? Can't really do that. Well, I could just fold it over. Okay. Cut in half and flip, left and right. Okay, I'm going to take your word for it. I'll use my little trimmer. Okay, so 2 3/4. Let's do it up here. I'm still getting used to the measurements on here. I've gotten so used to my other paper cutters that I don't find the quarter, the half, and the 3/4 are obvious enough. Put that in the middle. Well, I don't have any Mango Melody ribbon. That would be kind of neat too. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. Hi Gilmore, you just missed a fun little poll. Couldn't decide between gingham or argyle, so we are doing both. Half and half. I do, Jenny. Oh. Yes, I have that too. I was thinking a crushed curry one initially. Hello, Barbara. So glad you could join. Yes, I got what you mean now. A little slow on the uptake there. Okay, now that this has gone completely out of my comfort zone, which way am I putting the ribbon on? Barbara, you've joined at a very fun time. Use your blend so it dries right away. Okay. This has turned into you are choosing my adventure here. Okay, let's do Old Olive. Anyone else find that when you color this ribbon, it gets kind of crusty? I'm going to do it like an ombre. It really hardens up once you color it. Hello, Barbara. I can't wait till you're back in Canada. I bet you can. Yes, I love that we can color ribbon and make it our own. I think we need to keep a ribbon like this where we can always color it. Okay, so am I taking it across now? Because I have no idea what you have in mind now. That's a great idea. Oh, a little green. Looks like I mowed the lawn. That does work. Okay, are we thinking tied at the top? Are we thinking tied like that? What do we think? Now that I've glued everything down. Cross like, oh, I'm totally out of the frame, aren't I? Okay, I might see if I can pop that part up a bit. We'll cut this off. Jill, you've tuned in at a fun time. Everyone is choosing the adventure here. Okay, now how would you tie it though? Because I don't want to have this in there. And I can't exactly pry that up now. Should I just tie a bow? Thank you so much, Jill. I have to say that every time I see your name, I think of the show The Middle. I can pry up enough of this, I can... Ooh, that's a good idea. It is so fun doing stuff like this where you don't exactly know what you're doing. Yeah, now that I've glue dotted it. Okay, we're doing a bow. Is that what you're talking about, Paula? For those of you that maybe don't know who Paula is, she is a wonderful, wonderful demonstrator from New Zealand. And from what I understand, she has been on the artisan design team in the past. And she's currently designing for the TGIF design team. And she has a fun little collab with Elisa Tilsner, who is part of the Stamping Society as well. Not far enough. Time for a new glue dot. Okay, I'm going to put it on the cardstock this time instead of trying to align it on the ribbon. One there, one there. Let's do that on this side. Anyone else getting stressed out, or is it just me? The only thing I don't like is that I don't have a tail on that one, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to trim that end because I still have one more card to do. I'm going to deal with that part later. I think I might try and tuck it in. Pop this part up on some dimensionals, and I'm right at the end of a sheet. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is, Paula. Sorry for those of you that are like, okay, hurry up already. I didn't get much of that off the first time. Okay, so that was a fun little project. I'm not sure that went on straight, but... okay, we are going to move along to the second project because that one's going to take a little bit longer than this one did. So, like I mentioned, it's for the Global Design Project, and you know what? I didn't do it last week because one, I totally forgot, and two, I think it was because I wasn't really feeling the design, but honestly, I forgot. And the week before, if you remember, I was doing this card, and I had created it in this colorway, and then also one that had like browns and deeper colors, and I couldn't decide which one to post, and I ended up missing the deadline, so I couldn't post either one. Teach me for procrastinating. Okay, so on to the next one. We are going to do a little bit of color blending, ink blending for the sky. So this is going to be a night sky, and it would probably be easier if I just took a piece of Night of Navy, but I want to have a bit of control over how dark this is. So I always start off the page and sometimes when you get these weird little marks, it's kind of nice to capitalize on it and make it seem like they're clouds. Because there could be clouds in a night sky, right? actually done quite a bit of ink blending the last few weeks. I was not in my craft room a whole lot last week because my daughter needed some quality time, and given how the week before had gone, I absolutely was not going to hesitate. So I was barely in my craft room last week, and I didn't feel guilty, but I'm kind of paying for it this week because I've got so many things that I probably should have started last week. And one of those is the Stamping Society tutorial, because like I mentioned, it's due today. My video is done, it's uploaded, I just have to write my tutorial, which won't take long. But you know, when you have so many designs, you can't design ideas, you can't narrow it down to what you really want to do. It was one of those. So I'm going to show you one of the designs that didn't make it to the tutorial. That came out really, that was difficult to say. So this one I did some ink blending with a couple of different colors, and I used the poppies in the background, and then Timeless Tulips is the Stamping Society bundle for March. So that one was really fun to do. But I decided I didn't want to do it for the tutorial. Speaking of the tutorial, my team members receive the tutorial each month for free. They also receive the Creativity Without Borders PDF, and they get free access to the Pretty AF group. So if you have ever thought of joining Stampin' Up! And you live in Canada and are not working with a demonstrator, I would love to welcome you to my Crafted AF team. To get access to all of the things that I share, you just have to join my Facebook group. That is where I share all of those files. Okay, pressing a little bit harder now. And I'm just going to darken it up around the outside edges. I think I need to re-ink mine at a navy. Now this is just regular Whisper White cardstock. I probably should have used shimmery white or watercolor, but I did not. So the next step is to take my spritzer. Ah, thanks Terry. Thank you Pam. Thank you Paula. Okay, so what I do is I take my spritzer and just kind of spritz, not even spritz, I flick the water that's in the chamber, I guess, and that creates the stars for my night sky. That one is quite a bit bigger than I would have liked to have had, but c'est la vie. Okay, so we've got Night of Navy for the sky. I'm gonna do a little bit of Garden Green for the grass, or the ground. I'm just gonna grab another brush. Ooh, I got some glitter in there. This is just going to be so that we don't have white ground. If it were white ground, it would be Manitoba. Or as I so lovingly call it, Winterpeg Manasnoba. It actually hasn't been a bad winter. I'm hoping we're almost done. So can you guess what the crushed curry is going to be? What I'm going to use to bring it in? So far we have 2 of the 3 colors that we need for this challenge. Okay, I'm happy with that. I will wash these. I just run them under some warm water I don't use soap, just water seems to be enough. And then you can always just rub it on a piece of paper. You can rub it on some paper towel. You'll be amazed at how much comes off. Okay, any guesses for the crushed curry? Just reading Pam's comment here. I was going to re-ink my green. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I just realized today that I got an expedited order, and I just ordered a new Memento because, like I said, I feel like I'm constantly re-inking my Memento. Well, now I can do it twice as much. I totally thought the one I had was empty. Duh. Okie dokie. Any guesses for the crushed curry? While you're pondering that, I am going to die cut something using Garden Green. Now, like I said, I have an idea in my head, but I haven't actually put it to paper yet, so it may not turn out the way I think it's going to. Time will tell. No guesses. Oh, Megan thinks it's a sun. It's funny, every time I say your name, Megan, I think of my daughter because my daughter's name is Megan, but it's M-E-A-G-A-N. And every time I'm in my car and I ask my car to call my daughter, it says calling Megan. I'm like, it's not Megan. It's Megan. And I wish I could correct it other than just yelling at it every time it says it. I'm like, it wasn't President Ronald Reagan. It was Reagan. So call her Megan, not Megan. Ooh, I like your guesses. Leaves, flowers, sun, moon. Does this help? I'm not digging that yet. I might need to do it in black. The other thing I think is I could bring in some of the other leaves and just have them kind of peeking in. Let me do that while you're still thinking. I'm going to tell you what made me think of this card other than the color combination of my friend saying jungle. I did this card when I received my Timeless Tropical bundle, and I was going to use this as my blog hop card for the Creativity Without Borders for January, and I thought, oh, I don't want to make this again, like doing the Polaroid thing and doing all this ink blending. It was great the first time. I don't want to do it again. So I thought, okay, well, I love the way the leaves are kind of coming in there, so I thought I could do that with this. So I think maybe we'll do some black leaves coming in and see how that works. Because it's a night sky, right? You probably wouldn't be able to see the green. Or should I keep it green? My opinion doesn't have to be the way it is. Green. Let's do the green, because at least the color challenge has the Garden Green, and I want to make sure that I have enough of it to actually not qualify, but have it considered. Sorry for the shake. I feel like now that we've got the Timeless, no, is it? What is it? What is it called? The Timeless Tropical, I feel like the, oh boy, the Tropical Chic is kind of old news, but I really loved this bundle. I think it's kind of cool to have two tropical bundles at the same time. Now that I put that middle die in, I'm thinking I should have just left it the way it was. Oh, come on. That part didn't cut. Okay, well, this part's getting sacrificed. Hang on there. Okay, Jenny, you're off the hook. Should I do the full leaf? I feel like this looks really funny. Maybe I will just put the middle of that on there. I don't know where it went. Okay, I'm going to cut out another one of these without this. Then it's just a bunch of, I don't know. I think I'm with you, Jenny. I think I'm asleep already. My brain's like, okay, that's enough. Well, that jumped on right out of there. Nope, I do like the original one. I'm going to cut it like this again. I think if we have a couple of those leaves at the bottom and a couple at the top, maybe on one side, we ought to be good. Looks kind of funny. Doesn't it look like a bug skeleton or something? Okay, that's enough of that. I was hoping that that would do the job and I wouldn't have to do any more die cutting. This is my favorite die in this set. Tropical Chic. Okay, so maybe if we have, I don't know if that's going to work. We might just have one at the bottom. That. This was another one. I'm sorry if I'm losing you here. It's another one that I had in my head. Because like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of time in my craft room. So I've got these ideas in my head and I haven't executed them yet. So I'm thinking, just to get a little bit more background in there, I'm going to forego the Monstera plants and stamp some palm trees using Memento. I'm determined to bring black in here. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for watching. Okay, so we'll just do a couple little trees in the background. Well, it's too late. They're on there now. Something like that. Like I said, not executed on paper. Not loving it. We could do one little plant coming up and two coming off. Do you, Barbara? I'm not feeling it. Could put that back on there, but I don't, nah. Okay, now to bring in the crushed curry. So I'm going to do one more thing first to hide the stems of those trees. We'll bring in some grass from the Wiggle Worm bundle. I'll need just 2 little bits. I'm hoping it looks better from a distance than it does up close, because I'm not loving it, to be honest. I haven't quite left myself enough room here. Well, our little critter will hide what I didn't plan ahead for. A seam. Even when I say I'm going to be quick and only do 2 projects, it still takes me a while, doesn't it? Okay, so I have die cut this. I am just going to take my scissors. This looks like a dog's breakfast, I know. But we're going to take this, just trim it. The die leaves a small impression as to where the line goes. Look, I don't even have to worry about a seam, because I forgot that the die doesn't actually cut at the bottom. It just cuts the grass. So I was able to line it up without a problem. Something like that. Oh, I can almost cover that little part. Not quite. So this little leaf is going to have to cover that, I think. Oh no, this is a full-size mat right now. Right, Jenny? Own worst critic. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches. And then I probably don't have to worry about that. Hello, Feline. Thank you for watching. This is project number 2, and not quite going the way I had planned, but c'est la vie. I'm going to just glue this down. I'm not going to pop it up. And I will cut off the overhang once it's down. I'm not worried that the base of those trees aren't covered, because my little critter is going to cover that part. And now that I've said critter, do you know what I'm using? With my crushed curry. That's totally fine, Faylene. Okay, do you give up? We're gonna do the lion, since it's crushed curry that we need. So I'm gonna get the mane and the lion. It's funny, these stamps are not sticking at all. Every time I open this pack, there's a couple that fall off. Usually the hat and the balloon, not usually the toucan. Okie dokie. So I think I'm still going to put those up there. Kind of have it look like we're closer up. Not sure what I'm going to do to cover this. Let's see. See, this is what happens if I don't plan the whole thing. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. Crushed curry. I would usually use Daffodil Delight for the lion's body, but this challenge calls for crushed curry. You know what? I haven't actually tried that with this set. Usually I use like an alcohol swab, and then they tend to stick again, but haven't tried it with that one. It hasn't bothered me enough that I've taken it out of my craft room yet. My pumpkin pie needs to be re-inked. Boy, oh boy. Okay, well, I was hoping to not do that right now, but pumpkin pie, pumpkin pie. There's no way I'm going to get a good impression with it being this dry. There we go. Still got kind of a neat ombre effect. So for the lion, there is one die to cut out his body and his face, his head, and then there's another for the mane and the tail. And I always like to use washi tape so that it doesn't move around on me. Yikes, my quick Facebook Live has turned into an hour and a minute. We did cover quite a bit though. Now, if you don't have the stamp set, or if you don't want it to take as long, you can use the dies for the DSP. Isn't that awesome, Faylene? No big popping sounds. You probably got a better cut the first time through too, didn't you? It's amazing the things we learn as we go. I wish we could know them all at the beginning, but no one's an expert right at the beginning, right? Okay, now I'm going to show you a fun little trick, and if you haven't seen this before, just bear with me, it takes a minute. But if we cut the mane in all of the white spaces, we can give it some added dimension. Now, usually when I have done this, I have another stamped mane underneath it, but I'm going to skip it this time. Usually what I do is I notch it too so that you can see through to the one underneath, but I'm going to skip that too. Just going to take a little bit of this white off. My die moved ever so slightly. Okay, so then I take my bone folder and holding on very tight in the middle, I am just going to curl those edges a little bit. And if you do want that gap, you can go back in and just notch out the white. It is totally worth every second of the effort to do this. It gives it more dimension than you could ever get without. Should have just done this the first time around. Sounds like our dishwasher is installed. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this guy up. I feel like I need something to cover here. Aw, thank you, Megan. Yeah, I keep coming back to this, don't I? I so want to use it, but it's just not going to work. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut some more grass and some more grass so that I have like layers and layers of it, but I am not going to do that while you're watching. So I'm just going to give you an idea of this. I know what a chip, I'm not finishing it, but I want, oops, that's not the right way. This is the right way. And then we have to stamp a face on him. Okay, so here's his little tail. I like to use Soft Suede to do the face. I was using Memento when I first started inking this guy up, and it's too harsh. I was going to say I don't know why I've decided this is a guy, but he has a mane, so he the boy. Right? Okay, so I am going to call this quits, and I will post an image of it when I'm done, because I'm not liking how that grass is so blunt. So I'm going to cut out a few more strips of that grass, and I will adhere it, and then I will post a picture after. Like I said, I don't want to keep you all night, and I've got stuff I still have to do. So the only other thing I'm going to do to this card besides the grass is take a white gel pen, and this is the Sakura Jelly Roll, and just add some tiny bright white stars in there, just every here and there, because in a starry night sky you're always going to see some stars brighter than others, usually darker, like higher up where the sky is darker. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm going to darken up these trees a little bit. I'll add some more grass. I will share a picture with you. This isn't exactly the way I pictured it, but it's pretty close. So I think I'll darken up the trees, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. This one was fun for me, kind of choose your own adventure card. And then we've got this one that's not quite finished. And if you just tuned in the last little bit, these are samples of the Flower and Foils paper that is part of the second release of Celebration. And I used just sponge daubers on there. I colored these with blends, and this one I inked up with my Memento ink pad, and then just wiped any of, like I buffed it and got rid of any of the extraneous ink. So there are going to be lots of fun things to do with this paper. So that is it. I thank you so much for watching and sticking around for a quick one. That was an hour and 8 minutes. So thank you, and I will post this for you soon. And Shannon, congratulations for those of you that would like to be entered to win next week's prize. Just make sure you share and come back and tell me that you've shared. And if you'd like to know what I'm going to be giving away, Leo the Lion, it's going to be winner's choice, we decided. So there is the metallic twine and sequins. There is the Sending You Thought stamp set. There is the Thoughtful Blooms and the Small Blooms Punch as a bundle. And then there is the From My Heart Faceted Gems. I think I'm going to skip the Golden Honey DSP because it is back in stock and it will cost me a fortune to ship. So you have your choice of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So be sure that you share the video if you would like to be able to choose one of these 4 prizes. And, sorry for the glare, we will see you again next week, my friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.